I'd just given birth when my 8-year-old came to visit. She closed the curtain and whispered, "Mom, get under the bed. Now." We crawled under together, shaking. Footsteps approached and she gently covered my mouth. The cold linoleum pressed against my back as I heard the footsteps approaching. My daughter Emma's small hand covered my mouth. We were under the hospital bed in room 347. My newborn son, Jacob, 42 hours old, 7 pounds 3 ounces, was cradled in my arms, miraculously quiet against my chest. The IV line I'd ripped from my arm dangled above us, blood dripping onto the floor in a slow, steady rhythm that sounded impossibly loud in the silence. Drip, drip, drip. I'm Rebecca Hart, 34 years old. 42 hours ago, I gave birth to my second child at Riverside Memorial Hospital. 12 hours ago, I started suspecting my nurse was trying to kill me. The footsteps stopped outside my door. I felt Emma's heart hammering against my side. She was 8 years old, 3rd grade. She loved gymnastics and hated broccoli and had just saved my life by recognizing my husband's mistress. The door handle turned with a soft click. Through the gap beneath the bed, maybe 3 inches of space between the metal frame and the floor, I saw 2 pairs of shoes enter the room. White nursing clogs, men's brown dress shoes, the expensive kind Mark wore to client meetings. "She's not here." Mark's voice. My husband of 10 years, the man who'd held my hand during labor, the man who was about to murder me. "Check the bathroom," Rachel said. Rachel Chen, 27 years old, registered nurse, blonde, beautiful, my husband's girlfriend. Also, the woman who'd been slowly poisoning me for the last 2 days. Mark's shoes moved toward the bathroom. The light clicked on. Empty. That's impossible. Rachel's clogs squeaked on the linoleum, that distinctive rubber-on-floor sound that every hospital has. I gave her 4 milligrams of Ativan 20 minutes ago. She should be unconscious. I'd spit out the pill, hid it under my tongue until Rachel left. Then I'd tucked it in the drawer of the bedside table with the other 3 pills I'd pretended to swallow over the last 6 hours. "Maybe she went for a walk?" Mark suggested. His voice shook. "She can barely stand. She's 2 days postpartum with a 3rd-degree tear. She's not walking anywhere." Emma's grip on my mouth tightened. I could feel her breath, fast and shallow, against my shoulder. Jacob stirred in my arms. "Please don't cry," I thought. "Please, baby. Please stay quiet. The IV is ripped out." Rachel's voice went sharp. "Mark, there's blood on the floor. She knows. She can't know. She knows. We need to find her. Now." I watched Rachel's clogs move closer to the bed. Watched them stop 2 feet from where we hid. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard I thought it might wake the baby. "Where would she go?" Mark asked. "She wouldn't go anywhere. She's—" Rachel stopped. "Wait, where's the kid? Emma? She left an hour ago. Visiting hours ended. Her backpack is still here." Silence. Then Rachel's knees appeared as she crouched down. Her fingers gripped the bedskirt. Slowly, deliberately, she lifted it. Our eyes met. For one frozen second, neither of us moved. Rachel's face was illuminated by the harsh fluorescent lights behind her, casting her features into sharp relief. I could see the moment comprehension hit her, see her pupils dilate, see her lips part. "Found you," she whispered. Then she lunged. I kicked hard, my bare foot connecting with her jaw with a crack that sounded like a gunshot in the small space. She screamed, high, sharp, furious. "Mark, help me. She's under the bed." I scrambled out, pulling Emma with me. My hospital gown tangled around my legs. Blood dripped from where I'd torn out the IV, leaving a trail across the white floor. My body screamed in protest. 2 days postpartum, stitches pulling, everything still raw and damaged from childbirth, but adrenaline overrode the pain. Emma stumbled as I dragged her toward the door. Jacob started crying. Finally, his wails piercing and desperate. Rachel grabbed the syringe from the counter. I saw it clearly, 10 cc uncapped, filled with clear liquid. She held it like a weapon. Mark stood frozen by the bathroom door, just stood there, staring. "Mark," I shouted, "look at your daughter, look at your son." His face crumbled, but he didn't move, didn't help, didn't do anything. Rachel charged, syringe raised, her face twisted into something I didn't recognize as human. The door burst open. 3 police officers flooded in, weapons drawn. "Drop it! Drop the weapon now!" Rachel spun around, her clogs squeaking. "What? How?" "Mrs. Hart called 911 an hour ago," the lead officer said. His nameplate read SGT Martinez. "We've been listening to everything. Dispatch has been recording this entire time." I pulled my cell phone from where I'd hidden it under my hospital gown, tucked into the waistband of my underwear. The screen showed, "Call active, 911 dispatch duration, 10723. Every word, I said quietly, looking at Mark. Every single word. Mark's face went white. "Rebecca, you weren't what? Planning to murder me? I have you on recording saying you wanted your fresh start." Rachel dropped the syringe. It hit the floor, clear liquid spreading across the linoleum. "You can't prove anything. This is a misunderstanding. The syringe will be tested," Officer Martinez said, carefully bagging it with gloved hands. "And your confession was recorded by 911 dispatch and documented by officers outside this door. Chain of custody has been maintained throughout." "He made me!" Rachel screamed suddenly, pointing at Mark. "He said he wanted her gone. He begged me to help. He said she was ruining his life. That's not— I never—" Mark backed against the wall. "Shut up. You promised me everything. You said once she was dead, we'd be together. You said we'd get married. You said—" "I never said that," Mark shouted. "You did. Last week at your apartment. You said you wished she'd die in childbirth. You said it would be so much easier if she just didn't wake up." The officers exchanged glances. Rachel was confessing to everything, every detail, every conversation, every plan. "I want my lawyer," Mark whispered. Emma emerged from behind me, holding up my phone. Her phone, actually. The iPhone 11 I'd given her for emergencies. I recorded video, too, from when we were hiding under the bed. She turned the screen toward the officers. Even from where I stood, I could see the footage clearly. Rachel's face. Her voice saying, "Potassium chloride," and "stops the heart instantly," and "they'll call it a complication." Rachel collapsed to her knees, sobbing. I loved him, and he promised." "You tried to murder my wife," Mark said, his lawyer instincts kicking in even through the panic. "I had nothing to do with this. This is all her." "Liar!" Rachel screamed. Two more officers entered. One moved toward Rachel, the other toward Mark. "Mark David Hart," Officer Martinez said, reading from a card. "You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. You have the right to remain silent." "Rachel Lin Chen," the female officer said. "You're under arrest for attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder." They read them their rights. Handcuffed them. Mark crying. Rachel screaming. The whole floor watching. Nurses, doctors, other patients peeking out of rooms. Mark looked at me as they led him past. His eyes were red. His voice broke. "Rebecca, please, think of the kids. Think about what this will do to them." "I am thinking of them," I said. My voice was steady, cold. "That's why I made sure you'd never get custody of them." They dragged them both out. Mark's expensive shoes scuffing on the floor. Rachel's white clogs squeaking one last time. Emma wrapped her arms around me. "Did we get them, Mom?" "We got them, baby." I sank into the chair by the window, my legs finally giving out. Jacob was still crying, his face red and scrunched. I held him close, felt his warmth, his solidity, his aliveness. We were alive, both of us, all three of us. Let me back up. Let me explain how we got here, because this didn't start in a hospital room. It started months ago, in tiny ways I didn't recognize until it was almost too late. I met Mark in college, University of Michigan, both of us studying business. He was charming, funny, ambitious. We married at 24. Emma was born when I was 26. We built a life, a good life, I thought. House in the suburbs, 2 cars, annual vacations, but somewhere around year 8, Mark changed, got distant, worked late more often, stopped touching me the way he used to. I told myself it was normal. Marriage ebbs and flows. We were busy. We had a kid. This was just a phase. Then I got pregnant with Jacob. Mark's reaction was wrong, not excited, not happy. Just, "Are you sure you want another kid?" "We planned this," I reminded him. "We talked about having 2. That was before." Before what? He didn't say. The pregnancy was hard. Morning sickness that lasted all 9 months. Gestational diabetes, high blood pressure. I was hospitalized twice for monitoring. Mark visited once, said he was busy with work. Emma noticed. "Why doesn't Daddy come see you?" "He's working, sweetie. He's making sure we have money for the baby." But I knew, deep down, I knew something was wrong. I went into labor on a Tuesday, September 12th, 2:47 a.m. Mark drove me to the hospital, but he was on his phone the whole time, texting, not talking to me. Labor was brutal. 18 hours. Jacob's heart rate kept dropping. They almost did an emergency C-section, but he finally came at 8:34 p.m. on September 13th. Mark held him for maybe 30 seconds, then, "I need to make some calls. Work stuff." He didn't come back for 4 hours. The nurses were kind, especially Rachel. She was assigned to me during the night shift. Young, pretty, competent. She brought me ice chips and adjusted my pillows and told me I was doing great. "First baby?" she asked. "Second. My daughter is 8. "Oh, what's her name?" "Emma. She's with my mom tonight, coming to visit tomorrow." Rachel smiled. "That's sweet. I bet she's excited to be a big sister." She is. That first night passed normally. I nursed Jacob, slept in fits, felt the usual postpartum exhaustion and pain. The second day, things started feeling off. I was nauseous, really nauseous, more than I'd been during labor. "That's normal," Rachel said when I mentioned it. "Your hormones are all over the place. Here, let me get you something for it." She brought me a pill, small, white, oval. Ondansetron. It'll help. I took it. An hour later, I felt worse, dizzy, disoriented, like the room was spinning. "That's just the medication adjusting," Rachel said. "It'll pass." It didn't pass. It got worse. By that evening, I could barely keep my eyes open. My speech was slurred. My hands shook. "Maybe we should call a doctor," I suggested. "I already did. Dr. Peterson said it's normal postpartum fatigue. You need to rest." So I rested, but I kept feeling worse. The third morning, yesterday morning, God, was it only yesterday? Emma came to visit after school, 3:47 p.m. I remember looking at the clock because I was trying to figure out why time felt so strange. Emma bounced into the room, her backpack still on, her gymnastics clothes underneath her school uniform. "Mom, can I hold Jacob?" "Of course, sweetie." She climbed onto the bed carefully. I helped her position Jacob in her arms. She stared at him with that fierce, protective love only an older sibling can have. Rachel came in to check my vitals. "Oh, hi there. You must be Emma." Emma looked up, smiled. "Hi." Rachel wrapped the blood pressure cuff around my arm. "Your mom's doing great, isn't she?" "Yeah," Emma said, but something in her voice was off. Rachel finished checking my vitals and left. The moment the door closed, Emma's face changed. She set Jacob down very carefully in his bassinet. Then she grabbed my arm, her small fingers digging into my skin. "Mom," she whispered. "That's her. That's Dad's girlfriend." My blood went cold. What? I saw them at Riverside Mall 2 weeks ago when I was with Grandma. Dad was there with that nurse. They were kissing in the parking lot. The room tilted. Emma, are you sure? Yes. Her eyes filled with tears. I told Grandma, but she said I must have been confused. But I wasn't confused, Mom. It was Dad. And that lady. They were kissing and holding hands and... Okay. My hands were shaking. Okay, sweetie. It's okay. Is Dad going to leave us? No, baby. I stopped because I didn't know. I didn't know anything anymore. But I knew one thing. The nurse taking care of me was sleeping with my husband. And I'd been getting sicker every time she gave me medication. The nausea, the dizziness, the confusion. None of it was normal postpartum symptoms. I'd had Emma 8 years ago. I knew what normal felt like. This wasn't normal. Emma, I said carefully, I need you to do exactly what I say. Can you do that? She nodded, her face pale. I need you to take my phone, the one in my purse, and I need you to record everything that happens in this room. Hide it somewhere, in your backpack maybe. Point the camera at the bed. Can you do that? Are you in danger? I looked at my 8-year-old daughter, at her wide eyes and trembling hands, and the way she was trying so hard to be brave. I don't know, I lied, because I did know. I knew exactly what was happening, but I need to be safe for you and Jacob. She set up the phone, propped it inside her backpack, which she positioned on the windowsill with the camera facing the room. You couldn't see it unless you knew to look. Good girl, I said. Now, when visiting hours end, I want you to hide in the bathroom. Don't let anyone see you. Stay there until I tell you it's safe. Mom, please, Emma, trust me. She nodded. At 6:00 p.m., visiting hours ended. A different nurse, an older woman named Barbara, 30 years of nursing experience according to her badge, came to check on me. Your daughter needs to head out now, she said kindly. Okay, Emma, give Mom a hug. Emma hugged me tight, whispered in my ear, I'm in the bathroom. I love you, I whispered back. She left, or pretended to leave. I heard the bathroom door click shut. At 6:47 p.m., Rachel came back. Evening medication round. How are you feeling? She asked brightly. Worse, I admitted. Oh no. Well, Dr. Peterson increased your anti-nausea medication. This should help. She handed me 2 pills this time, both white, both small. I pretended to take them, tucked them under my tongue, swallowed water, smiled. Good, Rachel said. These will kick in soon. You'll feel much better. She left. I spit the pills into my hand, added them to the collection in my bedside drawer. 4 pills now, 4 doses of whatever she was giving me. I waited. At 7:23 p.m., I heard voices in the hallway. Mark's voice, Rachel's voice, quiet, urgent. I crept to the door, pressed my ear against it. Can't do this, Mark was saying. It's too risky. It's not risky. She's barely conscious. I gave her enough Ativan to drop a horse. What if someone suspects? No one will suspect. Women die from childbirth complications all the time. Blood clots, infections. It happens. But Mark, do you want this or not? Do you want to be free? To be with me? To start over? Silence. Then, yes. God, yes. Then tonight. We do it tonight. I'll wait until after the 9 p.m. check. Barbara's on duty, but she won't come back until 11. That gives us 2 hours. And you're sure she won't wake up? I'm sure. The Ativan will keep her under, and the potassium chloride works instantly. Stops the heart. Untraceable if you don't know to look for it. My hands were shaking so badly, I had to press them against the door to steady myself. They were going to kill me. My husband and his girlfriend were going to murder me in my hospital bed while I slept, 2 days after giving birth to his son. I needed help. I needed evidence. I needed my phone, Emma's phone, recording everything. I had maybe 2 hours. I went back to my bed, picked up the hospital phone with shaking hands, dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? My name is Rebecca Hart. I'm in room 347 at Riverside Memorial Hospital. My nurse and my husband are planning to kill me tonight. The dispatcher's voice changed immediately, went from routine to alert. Ma'am, can you repeat that? My husband Mark Hart and my nurse Rachel Chen are planning to murder me tonight. They think I'm unconscious from sedatives, but I've been spitting them out. They're going to inject me with potassium chloride. They just said so. I heard them in the hallway. Ma'am, are you safe right now? For now. They said they're waiting until after the 9 p.m. nurse check. I looked at the clock, 37 minutes from now. Okay, I'm dispatching officers to your location immediately. Can you stay on the line? Yes, but I need to hide my phone. They can't know I called. Can you keep recording even if I can't talk? Absolutely. We're recording everything. Keep the line open. Help is coming. I put the phone on speaker, muted my side, tucked it back under my hospital gown, pressed against my stomach. The call stayed active. At 8:03 p.m., I called Emma out of the bathroom. We need to hide, I whispered. Where? Under the bed. Bring Jacob. Mom, what's happening? They're coming to hurt me. But I called the police. They're listening. They're recording. We just need to stay hidden until they get here. We crawled under the bed together. Me, Emma, and Jacob. It was tight, uncomfortable. My stitches screamed in protest. But we fit. We waited. At 8:47 p.m., footsteps approached. Rachel's voice, just outside. The 9 p.m. check is in 13 minutes. We need to do this now. I don't know if I can, Mark said. Then leave. I'll do it myself. But you owe me, Mark. You said you loved me. I do love you. Then help me. The door opened, and that's where you came in. With us under the bed. With Rachel and Mark entering the room. With the confession I recorded on 911. With Emma's video capturing everything. Detective James Rodriguez arrived 30 minutes after the arrests. 43 years old, 21 years with the Riverside PD, PD, currently heading the Major Crimes Unit. He wore a gray suit and a wedding ring, and the kind of tired expression that said he'd seen too much. Mrs. Hart, he said, pulling up a chair next to my bed. I've listened to the 911 recording. I've watched your daughter's video. This is the most clear-cut case of attempted murder I've seen in my career. They're going to say I'm lying, I said. My voice was hoarse. They're going to say I was confused from medication. They already tried that. Neither of them has stopped talking. Ms. Chen is claiming your husband manipulated her. Your husband is claiming Ms. Chen acted alone. They're turning on each other faster than I can write it down. What happens now? Now we test that syringe. We test the pills in your drawer. We subpoena Ms. Chen's pharmacy records to see what she had access to. We pull your medical records to document the symptoms you've been experiencing. We interview the other nurses, and we build a case. How long will they go to prison? Attempted murder with premeditation? Your husband is looking at 20 to 30 years. Ms. Chen, as the one who physically attempted to inject you, is looking at life. She'll also lose her nursing license permanently and face federal charges for misuse of controlled substances. Good, he smiled slightly. Your daughter is very brave. The video she recorded is going to be Exhibit A in this trial. Emma's testimony will be crucial. She's 8. She's a hero. She saved your life. After he left, I held my children. Emma on one side, Jacob in my arms. We didn't talk, just breathed together. My phone buzzed. Mark's mother calling. I let it ring. She left a voicemail. Rebecca, what have you done? Mark said you've accused him of terrible things. This is a misunderstanding. You're confused from the medication. Please call me so we can straighten this out. I deleted it. She texted, you're tearing this family apart. Mark loves you. How could you do this to him? I typed back, he tried to have me murdered. Ask him about Rachel. Ask him about the potassium chloride. She didn't respond. My mother arrived at 11:34 p.m. She'd been watching Emma when I went into labor. She burst into the room, her face pale, her hands shaking. Rebecca, the police called me. They said Mark. It's true, I said. All of it. She collapsed into the chair. Oh my God. Oh my God. I should have believed Emma. When she said she saw Mark with another woman, I thought she was confused. It's not your fault, Mom. How did I not see it? How did I not know? He hid it. They both did. She looked at Emma, curled up asleep in the fold-out chair. She saved you. She did. What do you need? What can I do? Take Emma home tonight. Let her sleep in her own bed. I'll stay here with Jacob. Are you sure you're safe? The police have an officer stationed outside my door. I'm safe. She gathered Emma gently. My daughter barely woke, just mumbled, "Love you, Mom," as my mother carried her out. I was alone with Jacob then, just us in the quiet hospital room, the machines beeping, the IV dripping, a new one, placed by Barbara under strict supervision. I thought about Mark, about 10 years of marriage, about the man I'd thought I knew, about the stranger who'd planned my murder. Did I still love him? I didn't know. Probably not. Probably that died the moment I heard him say yes to my death. Did I hate him? Maybe. Mostly I felt empty. The trial was 4 months later, January 14th, Superior Court of Riverside County, Judge Patricia Hartwell, presiding, 32 years on the bench. The prosecutor was District Attorney Michael Santos, 18 years in the DA's office, with a 94% conviction rate on major crimes. Mark and Rachel both pleaded not guilty. Both hired expensive lawyers. Mark's family mortgaged their house to pay for his defense. The trial lasted 3 weeks. The evidence was overwhelming. The 911 recording, playing in open court, Rachel's voice saying potassium chloride and stops the heart instantly. Emma's video shown on large screens, clear footage of both their faces, both their voices, both their confessions. The tested syringe, 10 cc of potassium chloride, enough to stop a heart in seconds. The tested pills from my drawer, Ativan, 4 mg doses, 4 times the recommended amount. Rachel's pharmacy records, 3 unauthorized withdrawals of potassium chloride over 2 weeks. My medical records, documented complaints of nausea, dizziness, confusion, all consistent with Ativan overdose. Text messages recovered from Mark's phone. Can't wait to start our life together. She's the only thing stopping us. I wish there was a way to make this easier. Rachel testified. Tried to claim Mark manipulated her. Said he'd promised her marriage, kids, a future. Said she'd been stupid and in love. The jury didn't believe her. Mark testified. Tried to claim Rachel acted alone. Said he'd never agreed to anything. Said he was shocked and horrified. The jury didn't believe him either. Emma testified. 8 years old, sitting in a chair that looked too big for her, her voice steady and clear. She told them about seeing her father kissing Rachel at the mall, about hiding in the bathroom, about the video she recorded. The defense attorney tried to shake her testimony. Emma, are you sure you saw your father kissing the defendant? Could you have been confused? I wasn't confused, Emma said. It was my dad. I know what my dad looks like. And when you recorded this video, did your mother tell you what to say? No, I just recorded what I heard. Are you angry at your father? Yes. Why? Because he tried to kill my mom. The courtroom went silent. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts, both of them. Mark David Hart, guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, sentenced to 25 years in state prison. Rachel Lynn Chen, guilty of attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and misuse of controlled substances, sentenced to life in prison with possibility of parole after 30 years. Mark's mother screamed when they read the verdict. This is wrong. He's innocent. That woman, that child, she poisoned them against him. The bailiff removed her from the courtroom. I sat in the gallery with Emma and Jacob. Didn't cry. Didn't didn't feel anything except a cold satisfaction. Justice. After the sentencing, D.A. Santos approached me. Mrs. Hart, I wanted you to know, this case is going to be used in training for law enforcement and medical professionals. What happened to you, what you did to protect yourself and document everything, it's textbook. I just wanted to live, I said. You did more than that. You exposed a predator. Rachel Chen had access to vulnerable patients for 3 years. You might have saved other lives by stopping her. I hadn't thought about that. About other women she might have hurt. The hospital is conducting a full investigation, he continued. They're reviewing every death that occurred during her shifts. There are at least 2 other cases that look suspicious. God, how many people had she killed? 6 months after the trial, I filed for divorce. Mark's attorney tried to argue for visitation rights with Emma and Jacob, tried to claim he deserved to maintain his parental rights. My attorney, Jennifer Walsh, 26 years in family law, shut that down immediately. Your client was convicted of attempting to murder my client while she was recovering from childbirth. He's serving 25 years in prison. He'll be lucky if his children remember his name by the time he gets out. The judge agreed. Full custody to me. No visitation, no contact. Mark's parental rights were terminated. I sold our house. Too many memories. Too many ghosts. Bought a smaller place across town. 2 bedrooms, quiet street, good school district. Emma's in therapy. Dr. Lisa Morrison, 15 years practicing child psychology. She specializes in trauma. Emma talks about what happened sometimes. Sometimes she has nightmares, but she's strong, resilient. Jacob will never remember any of it. He's 18 months old now, happy, healthy. He calls me Mama and Emma Sissy, and has no idea how close he came to growing up without a mother. I still think about that night sometimes, about hiding under the hospital bed with my children, about hearing Mark agree to my death, about the moment Rachel lifted the bed skirt and our eyes met. I think about how close it came, how if Emma hadn't recognized Rachel, how if I hadn't believed my daughter, how if I'd taken those pills instead of hiding them, I'd be dead. They'd have gotten away with it. Mark would have raised my children with his murderer girlfriend, but I'm not dead. I'm here, with Emma, with Jacob, with a life they tried to take, but couldn't. Sometimes Emma asks if I'm angry, if I hate her father. No, I tell her, I'm not angry. I'm grateful. For what? For you, for your courage, for the fact that you believed what you saw and told me the truth. I was scared. I know, baby, but you did it anyway. That's what makes you brave. Last week, Mark's mother sent a letter. First contact in 18 months. She wrote that Mark was sorry, that he'd found God in prison, that he wanted to apologize to me. I burned the letter. Not out of anger, just out of completion. That chapter of my life is closed. Mark made his choice. He chose murder. He chose another woman. He chose everything except us. And now he gets to live with that choice for the next 2 decades. Me, I get to wake up every morning with my children. I get to make breakfast and drive carpool and help with homework and kiss scraped knees. I get to live. That's the funny thing about attempted murder. The word attempted means they failed. It means you survived. It means you won. Emma asked me yesterday what I would tell other people if something like this happened to them. Tell them to trust their instincts, I said. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Document everything. Tell people you trust. And never ever take medication from someone who might want you dead. What if people don't believe them? Then you keep talking until someone does. You fight. You survive. You protect the people you love. She thought about that. Then, did you protect us, Mom? Yes, baby. I protected us. And I did. I protected us by being paranoid, by trusting my daughter, by hiding pills under my tongue, by calling 911, by recording evidence. I protected us by refusing to be a convenient casualty. Mark thought I'd be easy to kill, weak, vulnerable, drugged into compliance. He was wrong. Rachel thought she could stop my heart with a syringe and call it a complication. She was wrong too, because mothers don't just lie down and die when their children need them. We fight. We hide under hospital beds with newborns in our arms. We spit out pills and record confessions and gather evidence. We survive. And when it's over, when they're in handcuffs and we're still standing, we look them in the eye and we say, I refuse to die for your convenience.